Welcome to FitHer Forward, where we share real stories, expert insight, and bold truths about health, fitness, and living fully, because your journey matters. Now let's get into it. Today we have Donna Applyrs here with us, and we chatted about a year ago because I'm always trying to drive registrations for the Capital Kids 3K and the kids runs. And you had started this run club and you were really gaining a lot of traction with it. So we talked about that. And since then, man, it has taken off. So talk about, number one, you're not a new runner. You've been into it for a while.
A little while, yeah.
How did you get into running? What did you do before that? And then how did this club come into existence?
Fantastic. Well, certainly for me, I've been running for just about 10 years now. How I got started, I was doing kind of like the Nike Just Do It Sunday 5K runs. I had a nice little streak going for 18 consecutive Sundays, and I got to a point where I was also at the same time working on my dissertation for school, and once I got done defending, I immediately signed up for a half marathon because I was looking for a new challenge. But certainly I had been running for a little bit, just leisurely, casually. The ironic thing is I ran cross country in high school for 1 year and I hated it. So it's pretty interesting to kind of see how my running journey has taken off. But yeah, kind of got into it. I had some friends who were really into running, and I said, look, let's see what we can do here in the city of Albany. One of the things that I noticed was that as a runner and a runner of color, there weren't many runners of colors any time I run throughout the city of Albany. And so being influenced and going through, different races in New York City and different cities, just seeing the diversity of running, the sport of running, and the community in the sport of running, I said, I gotta do something here in the city of Albany to build a very inclusive, diverse running organization and running community here in the city of Albany. And so with that, in June 2023, Cap City Runners was born.
Yeah. I mean, and it is pretty cool. We, Olivia Frempong, who I'm sure you know, because Olivia's...
We went to school together, yes.
Did you? Oh,
yes.
Okay. Well, we just love her, right? So she had her twins and then was told by the doctor, you're either going on meds or you got to do something because your health is at risk right now.
Right.
So she got involved with the training challenge. And I mean, she had her energy just transformed the training challenge itself, right? But then after that, she went on to do a whole bunch of different distance runs herself. But as a result, she was going down to the city a lot and running with Black Girls Run in the city. And it was the same thing. She was kind of like, all right, up here, I'm not seeing anybody like me. But down there, she did. And now Black Girls Run is celebrating their 10th anniversary in the Capital Region and at the Run for Women because that was their first run. And it's so awesome because literally she has transformed the look of the Run for Women. And now I want Indian girls run and Asian girls run, like everybody, right? Because it's like running is one of those sports that it is very inclusive in that it's like your pace, your distance, like do what you want to do. But building that community is tremendous.
Right. And knowing Olivia as long as I've known her and watching her and growing Black Girls Run, I actually wrestled with whether to do a Black men's run. Right. But certainly didn't want to just kind of focus on, gender, really want to really establish a very diverse group, collaborative, co-ed, men, women. And so she certainly has been instrumental, one of my inspirations. She's had run streaks. She's done.
She's done it all.
She's done
doing the
many of the
majors.
But certainly she has been a huge support to us, and many of the Black girls, do run with us and participate with us, and we certainly have had some collaborative opportunities to, again, just to kind of show the uniformity and the community of distance running in a diverse community. So, shout out to Olivia.
No, I mean she's tremendous. We love her. And because it's the 10th anniversary, well, first of all, I love when she sings the national anthem, regardless.
Yes.
Now, 10th anniversary, wow, she's going to sing the national anthem again. And so, she's just tremendous. I think it's interesting because you said you ran cross country in high school. Why did you run cross country? Who got you into that?
It was just like, let me just try something.
Yeah. Did you do track?
So my freshman year of high school, I went out for the cross country team. And again, it's like the fall or whatever the case may be, something to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not it. I
Yeah.
mean, we're running through Cunningham Park and, Van Cortlandt Park in New York City. Coming from New York City, I was like, this is not it. So I did transition to track and field for a little bit, running the 100, the 200, and the 300 meters for a season. But my thing was baseball. I played baseball growing up, so that was my thing.
Yeah. I think, but it's super cool. And I like, the message is cool. You did baseball and you ran sprints.
Yes.
And now you go long and you like it. And I think that's something like so many people, like they pigeonhole themselves into, well, I'm just a sprinter. So not doing that stuff. Right. Now, how much speed work do you do now?
I mean, I love it. I try and get in as much as I can.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places to be is the track.
Yeah.
Because just the opportunity to just work on those things, right? Work on speed, work on
it's
mechanics,
right? Exactly. Which when people go long, you can go long and slow,
right?
But you can have terrible mechanics doing it,
right?
Which is then, you got to go see some of our other speakers because you end up injured, right?
Right.
So I think having that balance is pretty cool.
For sure.
When you guys get together and do your Cap City runs, is it primarily just distance? Are you integrating any track work or anything in?
Absolutely. So for our club and our crew, we have track days. Obviously, when the weather is nicer.
Yeah.
But we certainly go all year round in terms of running. We're all weather runners, all seasons. And so, we get out there for distance runs, mid distance. And of course, incorporating speed work in some of those longer runs.
Yeah.
But certainly, the track is certainly my favorite. So
yeah.
Now it's starting to get warmer out. We can get to the track.
I think for a lot of people who don't have that high school experience, like let's say they played baseball or the soccer or, whatever other sport they did, they're terrified of the track. Right. So do you have anybody that has been in the crew that's like, oh, I'm not doing the track? That's scary.
No, I think everyone has been pretty open.
Okay, cool.
Even some of our newer runners, I think the most important thing is to understand the why and explain the why so that folks can understand, okay, well, it's more than just going the distance. It's more than just, trying to run as fast as you can, but like understanding the difference between tempo runs and, really threshold runs and where you're really pushing or even going top speed on the track to really help develop, their overall speed, pace, et cetera. So
yeah, and I do think too, it's like, a lot of people, they are fearful, but if the whole group is going, right, then it's like, and we did that with the training challenge. You bring them over to the track and they'd run on the track and they're like, this isn't bad.
Right.
Like, no, like, why do you have such a fear of it?
Right.
But it's that unknown. Talk to me about the community, because you've built an incredible community. Like, I just love seeing the pictures and I'm like, I got to get down there and do a run. But it's just, you guys have so much fun. You've built this huge community. Right. What does that mean? What's the feedback that you get?
It just continues to, we're very mission driven. And our mission has always been to inspire the community to run by running in the community.
Yeah.
And so again, kind of going back to my initial premise for starting the run club is that I was running in the community and not seeing anyone that looked like myself. But, now with the community that we built, you can run around the city of Albany and see, people who are part of our community who are out getting miles, whether it's downtown Albany where we normally meet or around the city or Albany, et cetera. And so, for me, it's taking it back to that mission.
Yeah.
But then also recognizing and helping people understand that you don't need to be afraid of quote unquote running. And we are inclusive of everyone. Our motto is all paces, faces, and races are welcome. And so it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be from a diverse background. It's just really building a community where folks can try something, do something, get to know other people who are passionate about it, and also to build community and network.
Yeah.
And, some of our deepest and meaningful frienpships have been formulated through the crew. So really,
and again, I think that's another thing that people don't understand.
Right.
They don't understand. And companies will sponsor golf tournaments because it's networking.
Right.
The networking you could do on a run, and the depth of things that you get into. You share things when you're running with people that you would not share if you just went out to lunch. Right. So, and I don't know that people really understand that. I mean, and people joke and say running's my therapy. But so often it is. And it's not only that exercise is a release, and the serotonin and all that kind of stuff, but it's also like having people listen to you and share back a story or say, no, you need to go talk to so-and-so. And so I think there's such value in that.
Yeah, there have been people who come out to the community and say, look, I've been running by myself for years. And to find this, excuse me, to find this has been, just a breath of fresh air. The other thing that we share is like, share a smile and a mile with someone, right? Someone that you don't know, like, because you don't typically have the opportunity to run with others. So, it's, again, building community, and that's the foundation of what Cap City Runners is all about, is how do we build this community? How do we introduce people to, running and walking too?
Right.
Really about physical health and wellness.
Yeah. It'd be really cool if you could do, like, somehow track, like, we got these people involved and they started it and now it's part of the lifestyle. Because that's always my goal, right? Is it just becomes your lifestyle and then you just do it. But like how the health outcomes change, right? Because we know, but I think sometimes when people like start to see that themselves, one of my frustrations around the training challenge is we get all these women doing it. They do the Run for Women and then they stop. It's like, don't stop, keep going, because 5Ks you can do it on a regular basis. It's not too much. How many people within the crew actually are going out and doing races too?
Oh, wow. We get quite a few.
Yeah. Is there some fear around doing races?
I don't think there's a fear of doing a race. It's the anxiety of like performing, and which is something that we eliminate, right? And that was, again, the other thing about creating this community was, while there are other running organizations in the Capital Region, many are focused on performance, former high school, former college athletes. And so, for a community like this, yes, there's a performance aspect that we can teach and coach, but it's just about moving.
Yeah.
Right? Let's not focus on performance. Let's make sure that we're prepared, that we understand the distance, that we respect the distance, regardless of what it is, whether it's a 5K or 10K or half marathon or marathon, right? But that we're prepared and understand what it takes to complete and finish it, and to feel that sense of accomplishment and inspiration that you find within yourself, because like, wow, I did something I wouldn't have normally done under normal circumstances, but because of the support, the community, that yes, I feel confident I can go out and do this.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that I struggle with the run is, I think every woman in the region should do it. Sure. Right? Like, sure. And now I get it. I'm dealing with the sciatica stuff and I can't even freaking move. But so there are times when you can't. Right. But I still, I think that. And I think one of the things that we try and do at that event is make it an experience, right? So it's welcoming. It doesn't matter if you want to walk it, great. Walk it. Like 40% of the field walks it now. Right. Or run, but then cross that finish line and get that medal. And it's not about a time. Right. It's about a feeling. Right. And so I think people should know that there are events in the area. And there are other events where it's like, you're going to show up and it's going to be a lot of fast runners. Yeah. And we have that too. We have the elite field. Right. But I think even for most races, like I wish people didn't have anxiety over doing it. Right. Because there's something about finishing a run with a group that's fun, but there's something else about crossing a finish line. Right. And you know that feeling.
And that's the most remarkable thing about running, and I help to expose and show, especially at race events, is that it's all shapes and sizes out there. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, what experience you have. It doesn't matter, what your body type is. It's all shapes and sizes. Yeah. And, as our community gets exposed, it's like, oh, wow, like, yeah, like I can do this. It's not a particular body type. It's not a particular, culture or race,
and you see like videos and everything all the time. Like people, like at Boston Marathon, there was someone running as a banana. Yeah. And they were passing people. Yeah. I said to my son, who's fast, ran in college, I was like, oh, you're going to see people ahead of you and you're going to be like, why are they ahead of me? Yeah, like, how can this be? But that's the cool thing too. Right. So I think it's like, but I think people have these impressions of what they see on TV or, the limited amount that we get to see. Right. Or they'll watch a track meet, or they'll watch the Olympics and be like, well, I am not that. Right. Well, most of us aren't. Right. But it doesn't mean we can't get out there and do it.
I mean, you go to a race event and you see those who are amputees on prosthetic
oh my
legs.
Gosh, it's so I would love to have more of that. Yes.
You know, those who are blind. I've seen people in wheelchairs who, you know, pushing with one leg, you know, throughout a marathon. You know, so the inspiration that you also draw from a race event, it's not just about the performance.
No, it's seeing it and knowing that everyone has a struggle, right?
Absolutely.
It's not like everybody's life is going great all the time, right? And so a lot of times it's that. And that's another thing we always like people to share their stories. And it's hard to get people to share their stories. And then you talk to them on a run for a couple of minutes, like, are you kidding? You've been through that, and that? Like, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's huge.
It is.
Talking about a lot of things going on in people's lives. You guys are super busy these days. How are you balancing everything? I mean, I'm so impressed with how much social media you get out there. I'm like, how is he doing this with a busy wife, kids? You know, how do you balance it all, right? So because a lot of people will say, I don't have time.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Sure. So just to kind of like think about all the things that I involved with or to do, obviously I'm a husband to the mayor of the city of Albany. We got 2 beautiful children, so I'm a father. I work full-time for our education nonprofit that sometimes has me traveling.
Yeah.
I'm an ordained leader in my church, the director of communications in my church. I sit on 3 nonprofit boards in the capital region. I lead a run club.
Yeah.
And I run myself, right? So how do I do it? I still don't know. You know, I feel like there's not enough hours in a day, but you know, I'm certainly blessed by support systems, you know, especially with our kids. You know, they've got their activities.
Because I was going to say next, what are the girls into?
And all those other things. Yeah. So, you know, it's balancing all those things within a 24-hour day is, you know, it can be pretty challenging, but we get through it. You know? But for sure.
But I think it's also setting those priorities, right? And Absolutely. So for you, running in health and the fitness and building the community is a priority.
Absolutely.
So you're going to make it happen.
Yeah. And I've always been a believer of, you know, I can't complain about what's on my plate when my goal is to eat, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like been my mantra. Like, you know, if I'm to whom much is given, much is required. So that's kind of like my mantra. So I don't complain about it because I feel like if I'm tasked or given this is because, you know, I believe I'm responsible enough to handle it. And so, so, you know, it's a lot for sure for the average.
Yeah.
And people say, like, how do you do this? Like, I see you, like, you're here, you're there, you're at this race, then you're traveling for work, then you got your kids' events, you're at dance class, you're at this event. Just, you know, just make it happen.
Yeah.
Just make it happen.
Well, I think that's awesome. I mean, and I think it's awesome for people to see too, right? Because everybody does. That's always the excuse that you hear. Right. I'm too busy.
Right.
Well, it's prioritizing. And I don't sometimes think, I know. The busier you are, the more you get done.
Right.
When you have a lot of time on your hands, it's a lot of wasted time.
For sure.
So I think that's, you know, so people go out, be on boards and do more.
For sure.
What sports are the kids into?
So my oldest, she's in dance right now. She has an interest in gymnastics. So we're trying that. She's 7 years old.
Yeah.
7 going on 17.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's got interest in gymnastics. I want to explore soccer as well. So we'll see what the next couple of years bring. My youngest, she's getting into running a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they both enjoy coming out to like the meetups.
Yeah.
Right? They want to, hey, are we going to Common Roots? So they can stick around and have some pizza
Oh,
afterwards. 100%.
Right?
But you know, they come out their scooters and their bikes and sometimes get off and just run as well. So that's exciting. But my youngest, I feel like she's more the artistic person. She's always singing. She loves drawing. She loves painting. And so I think that's going to be her calling.
That's fun. It's that's a fun age too. I mean, and you're going to see, you'll end up doing all kinds of different things
for sure
before one thing sticks,
of course,
right? Which is just super fun. What are your own personal like run plans, goals? Like, what are you working towards now?
For me personally, of course, I want to complete all the world majors.
So what's your methodology on that? So Alex, my son, he ran his second marathon, Boston. So as soon as he did that, he was like, okay, I'm doing Chicago next. Well, I'll do London.
Right.
And I was like, okay, you do realize London's at the same time of year as Boston because he was in Buffalo. So training through the winter is hard.
Of course. And we're here in Albany.
But to get into these things is insane now.
It is.
I mean, I've done New York and I'm doing New York again. this time, because it's the 30th anniversary, that was my first marathon.
Right.
And this year is the 30th
Same.
anniversary. So I'm fundraising for the Women's Sports Foundation to
Awesome.
do that. But like, so how are you going to get into all of them?
Well, I've been fortunate where I've done Chicago twice.
Okay, so you got that one.
Done New York twice. New York was my first one in 2022. Very exciting. And again, I'm from New York City, so it's really
it's so
nostalgic to just run home. I have aspirations, of course, for the international ones. I want to try to get London and Berlin out of the way, and then Tokyo, and then finish off with Boston. But of course, now they're adding more majors, right? It's like, so
I know, and then they got Sydney. So, I said to Alex, I'm like, hey,
Shanghai.
Sydney, I'll go there with you. But I know, like in London, I guess if they add 2 days, that may boost. But it's crazy. Don't you find it absolutely insane that these marathons, which is not an easy feat, are like selling out? You can't even get into them.
Yeah, it's a result of the running boom in the last, 6-7 years. I mean,
I wish we saw more of that in just all our races, like in other areas. And this is an Albany. Well, it's the issue. It's Albany versus Troy versus Saratoga. Like we're a freaking region here. Like let's act that way. But the races in Buffalo are all selling out. Races in Syracuse are selling out. Like they're not here yet. So there's a running boom. The clubs are doing really well. Now I want to see, how do we get people to go to the events? Right. And I'm not saying I need anybody doing marathons, but do 5Ks.
Yeah.
Do miles. We have a mile series this year.
Of course. Find your distance, right? Find what works.
Yeah.
You can build aspirations for other distances and marathons. But it certainly is insane. I mean,
New York City. I mean, New York road runners. Like it used to be when I started running,
races were just,
it was like Fred LeBeau. You'd go for a run with Fred, who started the New York City Marathon, and you could just jump in a race anytime. You can't even jump in those races now because they just sell out like that.
Right?
Yeah,
which is
it's just so awesome.
It's a good thing to know that people are engaged in racing, but it is a pain. Like.
Right, when you want to try to get into one. Because it used to be you could go, like, get into the New York City half, qualify for the full, and then you're in. Is the full now your favorite distance?
The full is one of my favorite distances, for sure, yeah. I mean, I think also because of the marathons, right, the majors. And the excitement that comes with running the majors. And there's some really good B-list marathons as well, like Philly's starting to sell out relatively quickly.
Marine Corps,
CIM.
Yeah, I mean Buffalo Marathon sold out this year. Wine Glass always sells out.
LA, and there's so many others. So certainly 26.2. I try to get at least one or two in a year. Yeah. I was crazy a couple of years ago where I did Chicago, and 3 weeks later did New York. For the first time, but it's always fun. It's still always fun. Yeah.
And I think it's also when you have those kinds of goals. Are there other sports and stuff that you're still involved in, or is it really primarily running? And
that's my outlet.
So what do you do to keep yourself injury free? Like, what are your modalities that you love?
There's a strength training, a few times a week. Also big on recovery.
Yeah. So what do you like for recovery?
Aside from sitting on my couch in my recovery boots, I am at iCryo, so I do their compression, their red light therapy, their cryotherapy. So those are all very helpful in terms of staying injury free. And then I see a chiropractor just to make sure I'm staying loose, and of course mobility at home as well.
So I think that's awesome because you're proactive about it. Right? Yeah. Like versus being reactive about it.
Right.
How do you find everybody in the running crew? Like, are they as proactive as you are, or are a lot of people coming in and it's a lot of learning?
It's learning. Yeah. It's definitely a lot of learning, and understanding the why. Right? Yeah. Why it's important that it's not just running. You got to strength train at least twice a week, if nothing else, and then really focusing on those isometric exercises where you're really building leg strength, hip mobility, etc. Right? Because running is just compounding, right?
Exactly.
On all those muscle groups. And But the other thing that's really big in terms of educating, it's the nutrition.
Yes.
Right? The nutrition component of running and how and what that means in terms of, your training, what you take in, how that impacts your running. Even if you're casually running a 10K or a 10 miler, like understanding like how nutrition plays a role. And so, we've been fortunate to partner with like Fleet Feed to do different sessions to kind of help our community understand like the importance of fueling, how you fuel, what you eat before your runs, what you should eat after your runs, etc.
I know. And I so feel that if we could get more people, even if it's walking, like out and moving and feeling comfortable doing that, naturally your diet does tend to get better because you feel the difference, right? And I feel like the more you do, and running is one where because you are, or even walking, because you're going over time, that's when you start to realize and feel it. Whereas if you're playing a soccer game and you're start and stop, you may not feel it as much, right? So I always feel like you see that there's a difference. And so it's one of those things that I think it's such an awesome way to teach people how to be more holistic about their health.
For sure.
And kind of look at everything.
For sure.
So gosh, you're doing an awesome job of getting people going.
Thank you.
All right. So your wife, how much does she run?
Well, besides running for office.
I know.
Right?
Well, she's not done running. She had a successful run.
She did. She's starting to get back into walking. So she's getting out early morning walks. She did run a little bit, pre-kids, right?
Yeah.
Before the kids came and everything, we were out doing 5K runs together. And so she's
but again, see, it's interesting, right? So I bet she's finding it hard to do because now, she's got a high pressure job. She's worried about the girls. She's going to worry about you, even though you're quite capable of taking care of yourself, obviously. But, it's like that whole thing that we've run into with women of like, they put everybody else first. And then, if I have time, I'll do that.
No, she prioritized. She gets up early, get out by 5:30, 6 a.m. Now that the sun is out earlier.
Exactly. It makes it a lot easier.
Walking, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is good. And I mean, we all need those role models, right?
For sure.
To be able to get us a success story out of the Cap City running crew.
I mean, there's so many.
I use Olivia as always, like every time we talk about the Run for Women, it's like, oh, we have Olivia. Jen Gish is another one. I mean, so Jen Gish, do you know Jen Gish?
I have not met her.
She was a reporter at the Times-Union. She came into the training challenge forced.
Okay.
She looks like a runner. She had never run, but she did the training challenge. She did the Run for Women. Then she said, I'll do a 5K, I'll do a 10K, I'll do a marathon. Right. So she went and did a marathon. Then she started a nonprofit called Strong Through Every Mile for victims of domestic violence. So it takes women, and it's not only women, but victims of domestic violence through a Couch to 5K training program. And then they do a 5K at the end. But also her daughter, she has twins and they are on the autistic spectrum. And her daughter, Matilda, who's graduated from high school this year in Albany, she got into running. And like, it's so cool to me to see, like, that's a running success story, right? Because here, mom got into it as non-runner, did all kinds of cool stuff herself, started a nonprofit around it. It's kind of like the Olivia story, right? And then her daughter started. And I mean, when I first met Matilda, she couldn't talk to me, certainly couldn't hug me. Now I get hugs like, no, I mean, they're the best hugs ever. And she's going to Russell Sage next year and going to study nutrition. She graduated top 10 of her class.
Awesome.
But I think running was such a big piece of her journey. And so not that you're going to have any success stories like that, but have you seen like things where you're just like this person?
Absolutely. I mean, again, there's so many, especially when you're, developing a brand new community where folks had never even given it a thought, right? I'm thinking someone that comes to mind right now is, someone who began with us as a walker. Yeah. Coming out every week, walking with us, then kind of like gradually jogging. And then she just said, you know what? I'm going to sign up for the Electric City 10K. I would say we call them sexy pacers, right? Our 13 plus mile per minute, a minute per mile walkers, runners. And she completed the 10K.
Awesome.
And I think the most impactful part of it is that like the team went out and met her on the course and like ran the last mile with her, like to really get her over the edge. And it was just like one of those unbelievable, inspiring moments where like she never fathomed even
being
running a mile
to
be able to do a 10K, you know.
Yeah.
And now she's signed up for a half marathon in
See,
Atlanta,
but
right?
that's right. But it's that whole support, right? And that makes, and it's believing. My coaching motto is do, believe, achieve.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, you got to get out there and try it,
right.
but then you've really got to believe in yourself. Right. And for a lot of people, I think it is having that community around them. Of
course.
And when other people believe in you, then slowly you start to.
Yeah. And then again, there's so many. I mean, we've got first-time marathoners. We've got first-time half marathoners. You know, one of our co-founders, you know, within a year was already running in New York City. Yeah, she got in the lottery. I was kind of mad, but you know, he got in. But yeah, it's just there's all the success stories of others are what makes me proud. Right?
Yeah.
Knowing that, you know, had it not been for Cap City, they wouldn't have been even engaged in this, right? So.
And I do feel very strongly that doing that and having that experience, like, so for that woman, what else is she doing in her life now that she wouldn't have done prior to that? Well, just because of confidence level.
Yeah, I mean, she certainly is taking control of her health and wellness.
Yeah.
She's dropped over, 50 pounds in weight. She's strength training. She's, getting out there and running and doing all the things, right?
Right.
And continue to work on that journey, right?
Yeah.
Her own personal weight.
And who knows? She'll probably go into work and go, you know what? I need that promotion. You're giving it to me today.
Right.
Right? Because now she has this confidence in like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that.
Of course.
Which is, I think that's another place people don't realize the power of athletics overall.
For sure. But I think specifically with the marathon or distance running, or it's the understanding that conditions are never going to be perfect. Right. You're never going to have the perfect training run. You're going to feel like crap sometimes, but it's one foot in front of the other.
Exactly.
One stride at a time, 1 mile
consistency
at a time. That's the mantra. 1 mile at a time, one stride at a time.
Yep.
And so with consistency and with hard work, you're going to see the results, right, over time.
Yeah.
For me personally, my daily mantra is better 1% every day.
Yeah.
Like, as long as I'm seeing 1% in incremental progress, slow progress is still progress.
It is, right? And you're right, because a lot of people set goals that are crazy.
Right.
And then they're like, I know I can't do it. Well,
and it's
like,
good to be
make little goals.
For sure.
Right. And you want to have those out there.
Absolutely. But what are the little goals that are going to help you reach that, that moonshot goal?
Exactly.
Right? And even if you don't hit it, guess what? You probably...
But you're way ahead of where you would have been.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Which is what I love. Well, we always finish up with some, we call them final kick, and we did one of them, which was your favorite way to recover. But what's your favorite post-workout snack?
It's always a high protein rich smoothie, like a fruit smoothie. So it's the berries, it's the protein shake, it's the raw oats, the chia seeds, all those.
You got all the good stuff in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
And then your favorite workout or place to work out?
The track.
Yeah.
Yeah, the track is the place.
So what's your favorite track workout?
I don't know if there's ever a favorite. I would say 800 repeats.
Yeah.
800 repeats are a good push, and 1,000 repeats as well. Like it's hard enough and long enough where it's like, okay, really gotta put it in, right? As opposed to 400, it's like okay, cool. Like, you get 400 repeats, you kind of get a repetition.
I love it when I get started back on the track. It's always like I start with the 200, I'll do 200, and I'll do 400, and then I'll do 800, and yeah, for sure. But it is, I mean, and it's sometimes it's just nice having that measured distance. And,
for sure.
Like, there's a lot of good things about it.
For sure.
If people want to learn more about Cap City, how do they do it?
Absolutely. You can go to our Instagram. It's highly engaged. Cap City Runners Albany Instagram.
As soon as you go and look at it, you're going to be like, I want to be there.
And that's why people have come out.
Yeah.
Our website, capcityrunners.org. For me personally, it's DA_FitEducator. Because my background's been in education forever.
Yeah.
So DA_FitEducator on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
This was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It is. And I really love what you've done. I mean, it's just tremendous. And to see the growth and the number of people getting out there. And you're right. It's ages, it's sizes, it's races. It's like, that's what we need more of.
For sure.
right? We just need everybody coming together and doing healthy things with each other and supporting each other. So it's awesome. What you do next matters most. So let's all get out there and get fitter.